4 is their main go-to, but we're going to use a little dirty word that false teachers really hate. Context. So, the Olivet Discourse. Jesus is answering the question, what's the sign of your coming and the end of the age? He answers. First he says, don't be misled, then gives signs of what to look for at his coming. He talks, then in verse 32, he starts with the parables and continues talking in parables for another chapter and a half and finishes in chapter 26 too. This is how Jesus rolls. He starts with a truth statement, then to clarify, he tells a story to help us understand what he means, using imagery we're used to. Fields, seeds, sheep, servants, etc. Now, in regards to Matthew 24:45, this is a response to verse 42, to be on alert. He gives a parable, explains it, then goes deeper, giving a common story anyone can understand. Even Luke 12:41 says this is a parable. What normal, able-bodied adult would be confused by Christ's explanation? A child would get it. Now, who's the good kid that cleaned the house before his parents got home? And who's the grounded one who didn't care and left a mess? Read the parable. Nothing here implies this is a prophecy about a man, then a group of men, dispensing their doctrines to their followers 1,800 years later, whom all must obey or be destroyed at Armageddon. This is clear. The JW leadership making this about them is like writing a prophecy about your own birth. Another verse they use is 1 Peter 4:17. Peter is writing to churches in the first century, talking about their common suffering. To summarize, actions have consequences. And being a Christian, you'll suffer. But suffering the consequences as a Christian brings glory to God. Suffering as someone who committed murder or thievery doesn't. Then old Petey tells them to judge themselves first. Don't blame others. This is meant for a specific church at a specific time, and teaches believers today to do the same. This says absolutely nothing about a future inspection from a spirit temple. Another secondary main go-to is Malachi 3, saying it points to them, a fulfilled prophecy. Okay, let's pull this apart. Sending my messenger. Okay, who is this messenger? Well, if we look in Isaiah 40, it says something very similar. And reading the Gospels, especially Mark, the writer tells us this messenger is clearing the way for God. It's John the Baptist. If you keep reading Malachi into chapter 4, continuing about this messenger, the same wordage is used in Luke 2. Again, John the Baptist. But it says Elijah, which in the Hebrew context, someone like Elijah. The Bible does this with other people, like David. Anyway, Jesus himself confirms this messenger is John. Matthew 17 or Matthew 11. John was this Elijah to come. So Malachi is without a doubt talking about John the Baptist who prepares the way for God. Now the faithful slave says they're a larger fulfillment, and it's about them. Wait. Are you telling me that C.T. Russell, Judge Rutherford, and the 8 in New York are on the same grounds as John the Baptist? An angel came to foretell John's birth. He baptized and prepared the way for the Son of God, the coming Messiah that was prophesied for 1,000 years. What the entire New Testament is about. Are you honestly saying that these guys are a larger fulfillment than the man Jesus said, no one born was greater than he? Are you kidding me? Anyway,